We all have multiple personalities within us. There are specific ways in which we behave depending on what environment we are in, whether it's a professional setting or we are with friends, family members, loved ones. Those who are closest to us know a lot about us because we feel comfortable enough with them to let our guard down and be at ease. But even these relationships and interactions are still fronts. The difference is how much of ourselves are we allowing to be revealed. Beyond all these, there is another layer, which is our mental identity or self concept, which is privy only to us. This is how we see ourselves, what our values and beliefs are, strengths and weaknesses are, tendencies and inclinations are. This may or may not align with how we present ourselves to the world. A lot of this may even be unknown to us. We think of ourselves only in broad terms, and it also depends on the situation that we are in. For example, let's say there is a big promotion due at work, and four people are eligible, you and three of your co workers. When people at work or your friends and family members ask you about it, you say you're pretty confident you will get it, or you may say it's a 50-50 chance. But when you reflect on it internally, your inner dialogue is, I am such a loser. It's hard for me to keep up with this job as it is. Forget the promotion. I hope no one at my work ever finds out. But the same person may have different thoughts in another situation. Their thoughts may be like, no matter what it takes, I will make sure that my future is financially secure. I don't want to be destitute. I have faced that growing up, and I'm never going to put myself through that again. So, the same person can display weak or strong thoughts depending on different situations. We have so many shades of ourselves, and we never question why we think one way on something and another way on something else, and whether what we are thinking serves us or not, whether it works in our favor or not. That's why it's a good exercise to explicitly find out what our self concept is, what is our sense of the self. Write down everything, what you think about yourself. Be sure to write down what you truly think and feel about yourself, not what you want to think and feel, not what you're aiming for. Be brutally honest. Write down everything, how you think you look according to you, your current life, your work, relationships, dreams, aspirations, how you show up in each one of these, and what are your feelings towards these. For example, let's talk about relationship. You may feel your current relationship is unfulfilling, but you think that you cannot find anyone better, so you stick with it. You think that if someone knew the real you, they wouldn't want to be with you, so you do what you can to maintain the current one. And then, what are your thoughts about the real you? You see yourself as a slacker, a slob, someone who's boring, someone who can be easily ignored. Sure, you are caring and thoughtful, but nothing outstanding. Do this exercise over several days. Depending on what state we are in, some days we have more access to our positive traits, and on the other days we have more access to our negative traits. So keep revising this list. Be detailed. There are no points for brevity here. But above all, be completely honest. You don't have to share this with anyone else. Once you think you have put in whatever you could, then review this. A lot of the information here could be from your formative years, feedback from parents, teachers, friends, other mean kids. But if it rings true and makes sense to you, then this is still operating in your life. Like I said earlier, until we do this exercise, we only know ourselves in broad strokes. But now you have this comprehensive data in front of you, which will tell you how you think and feel about yourself. Once you put your current life side by side with this list, you can clearly see what your patterns are, why you behave the way you do, why your relationship, work, and other aspects in life are the way they are. Remember, these are only beliefs. No matter how true they seem to be, you adopted them at one point or other in your life, whether it was conscious or unconscious. So that gives you the freedom to change them. Sure, it will take consistent effort and persistence, but if you want to become congruent to the image that you portray to the external world, you can do it. The more the differences between your inner state and what you present to the world, the more compensatory your behavior will be. Fighting blind is hard, but once you become aware of your patterns, once you see what's blocking you, you can come up with strategies, stay vigilant, and handle these issues when they occur. So, when you see in your list, you don't go for another relationship because no one will want you. Challenge that. Where is that voice coming from? You don't have to agree with it. Look at your positive qualities and then supplant them here. It's the same person. For the negative traits, slob, slacker, boring, easily ignored, they are not inherently true. Find opposite examples from your life. Maybe you excelled at a task sometime. Maybe you were excited about something. You were enthusiastic about sharing ideas on your favorite topic. Maybe in your current relationship, you don't put in the effort because you don't find the motivation, and that's why you see yourself in this manner. So, find out the blind spots, the gaps, the nuances. Ultimately, the goal is to understand yourself clearly, how you see yourself. Then you can understand why you behave the way you do. Change what you want or don't. Accept yourself the way you are. Whatever you do, make sure you are not a stranger to yourself. Even if you wear masks for others, be committed to knowing the real you. Thanks for watching. Bye.